Pokemon Y Hardcore Nuzlocke, Prankster only, rules in the description, let's get into it. We'll let this bird in my room. Ryalu's the starter since it's the first eligible encounter and I name him Rolf. I know my dad's not around, but damn Sycamore sliding into my mom's DMs. Shauna too? Finally set off with my Pokemon and it's time for our first gym. Okay, what if I reset for a Ryalu with perfect attack IVs? Alright, this time I'm just gonna cheat and also give Rolf max attack EVs. Pokemon Y, Prankster only, my very first run, here we go. Oh, so cool, my starter's Volbeat. Catch myself a Ryalu before the first gym and now it's time for Viola. Jimmy learns Moonlight at level 13, which gives me a much needed way to heal in battle. A few tackles later and we have ourselves a gym badge. I can't believe people lose to her. That's for hitting on my mom. Definitely not a cult leader. On Route 6, I catch a male Esper since only male Meowstic have Prankster, but I'll need to wait until level 25 to use him. After I trap this guy's Furfrou, who clearly doesn't want to be with him, he rewards me with a fireworks show. Oh my god, it's happening! On Route 7, I add Naz to the team, who's actually going to be vital in a lot of situations. Listen, lady, I don't kink shame, but keep that stuff to yourself. In Glittering Cave, we come face to face with Team Flare. As a kid, I don't know how I didn't immediately realize Lysandre was their boss. I mean, look at them. In the Silage City gym, I grossly underestimated Ryalu's attack, but a crit Force Palm gets Onyx Glow, and then for some reason, I decide it's a good idea to use Quick Attack and get extremely lucky as Bind only does 3 damage and my Rocky Helmet gets the kill. Never punished. Before taking on Grant, I get everyone up to the level cap, which means now Meowstic joins the squad. 3 Force Palms kills his whole team and we go to Geosenge Town. I chase a Flare Grunt but lose track of him at this very ordinary boulder. No way there's a secret base hidden here. My first battle with Karina consists of Illumi spamming Charm as the Rocky Helmet does chip and then letting Ryalu clean up both Lucarios with Force Palms and a Quick Attack. I'm telling you, Naz is literally a wall. Our 5th team member joins up in Reflection Cave. Everyone meet Plank. By the way, did you figure out the naming theme yet? Comment it down below. Hold on a sec.
He has such a way with words.
Time for a Serena battle actually worth watching. It should honestly be illegal that Volbeat learns Tail Glow at level 21. It's so busted. At +3 special attack, Jimmy kills Meowstic despite Light Screen being up. When Absol comes in, I Moonlight and then get my special attack to +6 with another Tail Glow. A crit Quick Attack followed by a crit Bite from Absol means that Moonlight will only negate the damage done from a regular Bite. On 1 HP, Jimmy outspeeds for another kill. Now Braixen comes in and I'm like, neutral Signal Beam at +6? This should definitely kill. Except Braixen isn't a psychic type yet. Oh, you thought Jimmy was gonna die?
Bing bong!
Now it's time to take on Karina's gym, but fighting types are no problem for Double D. He OHKOs her entire team with Psybeams and a Psyshock, and that's it for our 3rd badge. Somebody tell me why this needed to be in the game. What purpose does it serve? Alright, Ramos, let's see what you got. Plank opens the battle with a Fake Out, and next turn he's hit with Acrobatics as the Rocky Helmet does some recoil. Unfortunately, Payback just isn't enough for a KO, so Ramos can heal his Jump Love. I Shadow Sneak for some damage, and this time Payback is thankfully enough to get the job done. When Gluck 9000, Weepin' Bell comes out, I go to Meowstic, who's easily able to tank Acid and kill with a Psyshock. Last is Go-Goat, which means it's time for Naz to come out and play the long game. After charming it down to -6 attack, I swap Jimmy in, who's tickled by Takedown. He Tail Glows twice just to flex and then absolutely massacres the goat with Signal Beam.
That's a lot of damage!
I check on the hostages in the power plant and wait a second, this guy is seriously trying to sell me fresh water right now? Ugh, salespeople, am I right? Let's see if Clement poses a challenge. Sableye opens the battle by using Fake Out for a little damage on Emolga. Knowing a Volt Switch is coming out, I Shadow Sneak for more chip, but unfortunately Static activates and paralyzes Plank. Magneton switches in, so I go to Naz, who takes a Thunderbolt pretty well. Now Clement falls right into my trap as I Moonlight back to full HP, and he uses Electric Terrain. Thanks to Prankster, I can Encore Magneton and lock it into electric terrain, which won't do anything. This means Sarah gets a safe switch in and can power up punch before getting the kill with Force Palm. The terrain dissipates as a Mocha comes back in, and knowing Aerial Ace is coming, I switch into Meowstic. Then I set up a light screen to help deal with Clement's Heliolisk and eat another Aerial Ace. Next turn, Double D gets the kill with Psyshock and the Basilisk hits the field. Because of light screen, Meowstic lives a Thunderbolt, and after 2 Psyshocks, we pick up the win along with our 5th gym badge. Jumping straight to Valerie, I picked up the TMs for Swords Dance, Dig, and Poison Jab, all of which I taught to Ryalu. You're probably thinking I'm crazy for putting a fighting type up against the Fairy Gym Leader, but Valerie leads with a Mawile with 0 Fairy type moves. To make her even more of a joke, its only attacking moves are non-stab Dark types. I'm freely able to Swords Dance to +6 attack, and even at +4 defense, Mawile drops to a Dig. Then her Mr. Mime and Sylveon both get outsped and deleted with +6 Poison Jabs. And there you have it, a fighting type swept the Fairy Gym. After the Pokeball Factory shenanigans, I'm finally able to add some new members to the team. First is Eddie the Liepard, who we catch on Route 15. Then in the Lost Hotel, we get Kanker the Klefki. See you guys, bigger isn't always better. I also go to the optional Route 16 to encounter a horde of Murkrows and add the final member to our team, Ed. I know Mega Baynet also has Prankster, but I don't allow Megas in my runs. Serena stops me in front of the Anastar gym for like our 4th battle, but the outcome is always the same. With the team at the new level cap, we can finally take on Olympia. Eddie makes quick work of the Psychic type user as I set up a few Hone Claws against Sigilif, and even though it uses Reflect, I still get the kill with Night Slash. The only damage done to me this whole battle was a fake out from her Meowstic, and with that we can move on to Lysander Labs. There are 3 battles against Lysander in a very short time span, but because the 1st and 3rd are fairly different, I'm going to show them both. Meowstic opens with a fake out as Mienfoo sets up a Swords Dance. I actually forgot in the 1st and 2nd battle that this thing has inner focus so it can't flinch. Next turn I put up a light screen since it's really the only way for me to deal with Pyroar and Acrobatics hits for half my health. I kill with Psyshock and Murkrow comes in. Kanker switches into Foul Play and gets the Oko with Dazzling Gleam. When Pyroar comes out, I bring in Plank, who takes about a quarter from Fire Blast. I fake out on the turn light screen wears off and then hit a super effective power up punch to get it down to half health. Fire Blast almost kills Sableye now, so I need to switch. I decide to go to Sarah since she's holding an Eviolite and may be able to live an attack, but I forgot to heal her before this fight and she's not at full health. Dark Pulse comes out, which I resist, and now at 80 HP, I'll be able to live a Fire Blast. Low sweep crit for the kill. Last is Lysander's Gyarados, and now it's once again Naz time. I charm and heal stall until my Rocky Helmet kills the monster, and that's our first bout with Team Flare's boss out of the way.
Add it all up and it equals a victory for our Giants.
Nerd. Wait, this was a secret base all along? Since you need to catch a Veltal to continue the story, I chuck a Master Ball and shove it in the back of the PC. Lysander's really out here with a Doc Ock drip. His Mienfoo is evolved into Mienshao, but I remember I can't flinch it and get Light Screen up as it Swords Dances. Then Meowstic takes it out with Psychic. Pyroar comes in, so we go to Plank, but a crit Fire Blast almost kills our wooden friend. I go back to Double D, who dodges a Fire Blast, and then after Fake Out, a Psychic isn't enough to kill. Fire Blast connects for half our health, and then one more hit from our cat gets a KO. Lysander's Murkrow is now a Honchkrow, but I'm still not worried. I bring in Klefki, who eats a crit Night Slash and a Steel Wing before getting the kill with Dazzling Gleam. Last is Gyarados, and this time Lysander Mega Evolves it. Even with the boosted stats, he's still no match for Naz and her Rocky Helmet. So angry at himself for losing and not being able to live with the thought of being in an imperfect world, the Megalomaniac decides to use the power left in the ultimate weapon to kill himself and his whole organization. Somebody do a case study on this man. Nobody seems to care that like 100 people just died as they're all excited to continue their journey. We should at least call a mortician. Shauna stops me for some more of that fireworks action. Oh, it's just a battle. Now it's Tierno's turn and his Talonflame is actually pretty scary. I start by swapping to Sableye, who takes a solid chunk from Acrobatics. Then after a fake out, Plank lives another aerial barrage and lands payback for most of the bird's health. I wasn't sure if Shadow Sneak would kill here, so I decided to bring in Klefki to eat the Acrobatics. After another, Dazzling Gleam gets the kill and also takes out Crawdaunt in one hit. Last is Roserade, so I switch to Meowstic, who gets hit by Petal Dance for half his health before dropping the plant with Fake Out followed by Psychic. My party gets healed before Trevor, and honestly, his team was just as easy as Shauna's. With those stooges out of the way, we're finally free to take on our last gym leader, Wolfric. Double D leads off with a Fake Out and a Light Screen against Abomasnow, who crits an Energy Ball for over 100 damage. Then I live an Ice Shard and hit back with a Psychic that does around 60%. Kanker swaps in to tank the next Ice Shard and kill the Snowman with Mirror Shot. Next is Cryogonal, who has terrible physical defense, so I bring in Ryalu as he sets up Hail. Then I get outsped and confused, but Sarah breaks through for the low sweep KO. Last is Avalugg, who's all thick and no quick, so Kanker comes in to finish the job with another Mirror Shot. On Victory Road, we have our final battle with Serena, whose team is actually pretty tough. We start with a Meowstic Ditto, so I Fake Out and Light Screen to lessen the damage from Shadow Ball. Then I bring in Eddie, who shrugs off the next one and picks up a Night Slash kill. When Altaria comes out, it's time to bring in my House Keys and literally take no damage from Dazzling Gleam. Before I can fire off one of my own, Altaria tells Kanker its dirtiest secret. Startled by the fact that she pours milk before cereal, Klefki's special attack is lowered, and now it takes 2 Dazzling Gleams to get the knockout.
Bruh.
Okay, I meant 3. Next is her Delphox, so I bring in Meowstic to hopefully not take too much damage and set up a Light Screen, but Flamethrower ends up doing more than I thought it would. At least he baits Shadow Ball and lets me get a switch into Lightbard. After a Fake Out, Night Slash claims another victim, and now the toughest Pokemon on her team comes in, Jolteon. Sucker Punch almost gets the kill, but the dog just barely hangs on and fires off a huge discharge, leaving Eddie paralyzed. I can't risk getting full powered on another Sucker Punch, so I switch to Klefki, who takes it pretty well. Oh, she's also paralyzed. Of course, full para. This game is fun. Okay, I'll just bring in Naz to set up a wish, and I still have Ryalu healthy. I can go out to her, and after a discharge, she'll just get healed back up. Oh, come on! Thankfully, she doesn't get fully paralyzed and can kill with low sweep. Last is Absol, and with the team not looking so hot, we turn to the wall Naz. Absol swords dances as she comes in, which means this is checkmate. I encore locking it into swords dance, which is really scary if I don't get a quick kill, because then this Absol could be classified as a WMD. As it gets to +6 attack, I bring in Kanker, and the encore holds for one more turn as we avoid the full paralysis and kill with a Dazzling Gleam. Dragon Mark Chamber. More like dragging these nuts on Drasna's face.
Got him!
Double D makes easy work of Dragalge with a Calm Mind boosted Psychic. Then it's a switch to Klefki, a Calm Mind of her own, and a few clicks of Dazzling Gleam to beat the first member of the Elite Four. Next is Seabold, who's no match for Jimmy. He uses Tail Glow and then is able to kill the Water type user's whole team with a mixture of Thunderbolts and a Bug Buzz.
I am inevitable.
Now is where things get a little harder. Kanker ended up with Hidden Power Ground, and if not for that, I don't know if I would have made it past Wickstrom. In a Klefki Ditto, I open with 3 Calm Minds as 2 layers of spikes and a Flash Cannon come out from the Knight's side. Next turn I get hit with Torment, which is about to make things awkward. Flash Cannon does a little more damage, and then Hidden Power takes the opposing Klefki down. When Probopass comes in, I use a 5th Calm Mind as the super effective Earth Power does almost nothing to Klefki. The tricky thing here is that I can't kill Probopass with Hidden Power, or else I won't be able to use it on Aegislash, who's coming out next. I decide to use a Dazzling Gleam and then get the kill with Mirror Shot. Don't know if that crit mattered. Before clicking Hidden Power, I actually decide to use my brain and realize King Shield is probably coming out from the Sentient Sword, so my whole strategy before didn't matter as I Calm Mind to get to +6. I'm actually the smartest Pokemon player ever. Now Hidden Power kills and a Dazzling Gleam takes out Scizor. I saved Malva for last since she's definitely going to give me the most trouble. She leads Pyroar and I send out Sarah. After Noble Roar drops my attack, I hit a low sweep which still does over 50%. The speed drop means I can outspeed next turn and get the first KO on the board. Talonflame comes out now and I'm in trouble. Between Brave Bird and Flare Blitz, this thing packs a serious punch. I don't have a clean switch to the incoming Brave Bird, and unfortunately Jimmy is the least necessary member of the team now.
Oh, you thought Jimmy was gonna die?
With his sacrifice, I can get a clean switch to Plank to use Fake Out. Then the Flare Blitz recoil puts Talonflame in range of Rock Tomb, which I luckily don't miss. Torkoal is next, so I go to Double D, who lives a few stone edges and drops the turtle with a Calm Mind boosted Psychic. Chandelure is last, so I bring Eddie into a Shadow Ball and easily take it out with Night Slash. Well, this is it. Can the Pranksters take out Diantha and be crowned champions of Kalos? I used rare candies to get my whole team to match the level of her Gardevoir. No point in stalling, so let's find out. She leads Hawlucha, who wastes its life swords dancing, as Kanker gets us off to a hot start with Dazzling Gleam. Her Goodra is next, and since I want to preserve as much HP as I can on Klefki, I swap her out for Plank, who takes a Fire Blast pretty well. After a Fake Out, we live a Dragon Pulse and retaliate with a crit Payback, leaving Goodra in the red. Diantha uses a full restore as Payback hits for half the dragon's health, and I switch to Meowstic, who unfortunately is on the receiving end of a critical hit Dragon Pulse. Even after a Fake Out, it still takes 2 Psychics for a kill. Just goes to show how much of a tank Goodra is. Gourgeist is her next Pokemon, so I switch to Eddie, who's tickled by Shadow Sneak. Next turn, I can boost my attack with Hone Claws as Trick or Treat comes out, which adds the Ghost type to any Pokemon it hits. Then Liepard outspeeds for a Night Slash kill, and Diantha sends out Tyrantrum. I don't have a good switch into the dragon, so I connect one last Night Slash before letting Eddie go down. The recoil from Head Smash doesn't kill, but knowing a full restore is coming out, I can use Swords Dance and then kill the T-Rex with Brick Break on my next turn. Aurorus also drops to a Brick Break, and now all that's left is the main event. I switch Kanker into a Psychic from Mega Gardevoir that actually only does about a quarter. After a Thunderbolt brings me into the yellow, Mirror Shot does the same to her, and now it'll just be one more for the win. Oh, I guess I miscalculated the damage here. Maybe a Fake Out from Sableye will do it? Why didn't I just Shadow Sneak? At least Diantha heals again, and it just takes 2 Shadow Sneaks to win. Can't believe I almost choked at the finish line here. Prankster is a really great ability if you're playing with a tough rule set, since it's such an advantage to always have priority status moves. The difficulty of the run was definitely still high, not like we had any powerhouses on the team. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. If you don't, you can be sure Loomies and that Rocky Helmet are coming after you. Also, drop a comment on what kind of run you'd like to see next. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, any challenge can be beaten if you just use your head.